We'll start here with the chippers. And by the way, John Masters here. Hello. Hey. I was getting ready to go play golf, and of course now it appears as though we're going to have a monsoon. So not the worst time to go because everybody will be leaving. So what I thought I would do is a video I will entitle Extreme What's in the Bag. Alright, so this is what's in my bag. So I thought I would, since I'm going to go play golf, I'm going to go play at Chastain Park. We'll see how the weather cooperates. I thought I would just show you how an obsessive golfer sort of puts his bag together. So what I do is I basically have an entire golf store at my disposal. And that way, depending on what course I'm going to go to, I can make choices. So what we'll do is we'll start over here. We'll start at the putters. Alright, actually we'll start here with the chippers. And by the way, John Masters here. Hello. Hey. Maybe people like to know who it is they're hearing from. I'm not real sure, but I don't typically star in my own videos because we've got a lot of stars here we got to talk about. Alright, so basically we've got chippers and putters here. Now, if you're a novice golfer and maybe you're having a hard time around the greens, don't be afraid of getting yourself a chipper. You got 14 clubs in the bag and you don't really need all of them, quite honestly. So it's kind of funny. The one thing I don't have out here are golf balls. But don't be afraid to get yourself a chipper. That's totally legal, unless it is two-sided. So right there we've got a Zevo, and I believe that they're probably one of the few guys that are making those, or were. So here's another one, look at that. That is a chipper, but it looks like a little hybrid. So don't be afraid of a chipper if you need one, people. All right, so let's move on. Check these out. And these are basically in order of my usage. Of course, this is like the original, just a piece of metal. Basically like this, but it's a mallet. So it's got a little more weight in the back. So then here we've got the Never Compromise. Now the Never Compromise, you remember these originally were, I believe they were made of plastic, but this is not. This is a nice one. And what's interesting, I've got 3 modern putters that I choose from, 2 of which are Callaways. The reason Callaways are great is because of their insert. That insert is the way that feels when you hit the ball, it's incredible. You can't believe that that makes such a difference. That right there is why I don't have a Scotty Cameron, because I look at those and I'm like, how is it possible that that could feel as good as that insert right there? And check that one out. That's called the Backstrike Dart. I played the other day and I used this one. The only question they asked me about was, hey dude, what's the deal with that? So they certainly don't make that anymore. The reason I got that is because I used to hang around in the pool room, so I thought it was cool that they came out with something called a dart. You see, the pattern comes off a dartboard. All right, so over here we've got that's basically the old standard Callaway putter, and that is awesome. And then that one I've got a custom Black Widow grip, which is a little bit bigger. If you watch the boys now, those people are crazy. They've got putter grips the size of baseball bats. Because they're trying to keep their wrists from breaking down. So this is, to me, that's a thick putter grip right there, the Black Widow. All right. Okay, so of those 3 modern putters, what's interesting is this is the one I'd rather play with. if I go to a golf course with a huge putting greens, I'll take that one because I can hit the ball long and easily long. However, and you can tell just by the way this one sits that it's toe weighted. See, if we hold it like that, if we balance it, see how it's got the weight is in the toe. So that's a toe weighted putter. Now let's see if this one is, because what I'm going to say is that the Never Compromise I think is the putter that fits me the best. Huh, that's interesting. All right, and what I just knocked over here is basically, now we're talking about, I mean, I don't know, it's not as old, that's probably not as old school as that right there, but that's pretty old school. So anyway, that's the chippers and putters. So, what? All right, so now let's turn our attention to the wedges. So we're gonna go in order here. And then when I'm done showing you everything, I'm gonna put my bag together for the golf course. By the way, the weather is increasingly getting worse. All right, so what I'll do is I will start with, I'll start with the wedges that I kind of started out with. And as you see, I have a lot of wedges. Obviously, you don't need that many. And obviously, one of my favorite wedges of all time is going to be made by Roger Cleveland. So these are the Cleveland wedges, and I've got all different kinds. Like, check this one out. That's called the Tour Action 900. So that's a lob wedge. Okay, and what's cool, okay, so that one's got a particular finish. Obviously it doesn't rust, but it's not plated. And what I can tell you about that is that, is it a 900? Okay, so if it's a 900, then that means that this was Roger Cleveland's 9th design, and it came out in the year 2000. Okay, the #1 most popular wedge ever sold in the game of golf, I would be willing to bet, would be the Tour Action regular 588. The 588. Now this is the DSG. By the way, I haven't fooled with these in a long time, but I believe that was the dynamic sole grind, which you see here. So that's a lob wedge. So basically it's got a V sole to some degree, which you can compare to the more modern wedge that I have over here, except the leading edge part of the bounce is a lot longer on this Cleveland here. I don't know. I haven't hit that one in a long time. So you would think this is copper. It's called the BQ. Can't remember what that stands for. I believe the C means copper. All right. So anyway, okay, so the regular 588, which would be Roger Cleveland's 5th design, which came out in 1988. And let's pick one that I might play with, like one that I might play today, would be this right here. So this is a regular 588. It's 56 degree sand wedge. And it's just got a nice big old sole on it, nice bounce. Good out of the sand, okay? So I might choose that one today because Candler they've got some sand. So basically that's it. So we've got the 588s, and I got a lot of 588s, got the 900s. Now there should be some, okay, 691s, his 6th design in 1991. These I believe are remakes because they're called classics. I don't believe that's the original, but I can tell you this, those 691s are pretty awesome to hit with, that's for sure. If I had some original 691s, I might choose those. And I thought there was another. Hey, check this. This is cool. If you're not a golfer, you might look at that and go, my God, you need to clean that. The reason golfers bought that particular finish was so it would do that right there. And it takes a while, but isn't that cool? If I took that to the golf course and played it, my partner would ask about it. Because it's so cool. That is so cool. And so golfers would typically think that rust right there would impart spin on the ball, which it probably will. That's pretty rough. So that is a cool one. Okay, so the rusty one is very cool. And then also the copper one, that one's very cool as well. And also, by the way, we've also, so those are Cleveland. We've also got some Cleveland irons here. I am not totally sure if Roger Cleveland designed those completely, because I only know specifics about the wedges. All right, so then we come down to a few other wedges, ones that I typically am not going to take out. Although this one here, this Mizuno, that right there is an awesome lob wedge. Check that one out. Check out the bounce, how it's got a small amount of bounce, but it's got a nice wide sole. That's an awesome club right there. I have definitely played Mizuno forged clubs and love them. Check this one out. 64 degree with some kind of sandpaper face. Now obviously that thing is going to hit it real high and make it stop. And I could go out here if there's any of these anyone wanted me to test or show you. I've got a driving range area here. All right, now these are my modern wedges that I currently am using mostly. They're called Score 4161. Okay, the reason that I like the Score 4161 is because these guys had a plan. They were designing each wedge individually, and as you can see, they actually change. So this is the 60 degree, that's a lob wedge. See how there's no cavity on that at all? Then as you move through the set, they're pushing the weight out towards the perimeter a little bit more. And like this would be a pitching wedge. See how it's got a little bit more of a cavity? So they're pushing the weight out to the perimeter. Okay, these are awesome because, and I'm going to collect all of these. Currently I have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They made 20. The reason they're called 4161 is because they made these in lofts from 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. So you see the ones I'm missing. I'm missing the 41, 42, you know, the 44, 45. So the point is, you can basically build your entire set of wedges every time you go play golf, depending on where you're going to go. So there are some places you don't need to use that. Some places you're better off just to leave that out and force yourself not to have it. Okay? And these wedges allow you to go up into the 9-iron, not just into the pitching wedge. So you'll see when I build my set, okay, if I decide that I'm going to a course where maybe I want to use some game improvement clubs like these. Okay, these are the 2006 Callaway Fusions. Okay, those are game improvement golf clubs right there. They're awesome. We'll get back to them. Alright, so let's say you're using a set of game improvement clubs, but then you get down to the 9-iron and you don't really want to hit a game improvement cast perimeter weighted 9-iron and down. So what you can do is you can then pull this out of your set right here and you can replace it with this right here. Okay, so this would be the 9-iron replacement. So you pull this one out of the bag. So now our set goes from this down, starting at the 9-iron, and then the rest of the wedge set would be these right here. See what I'm saying? So it makes it where you can pull the 9-iron out of your set and make your wedges 9-iron on down. So that's what's cool, is with that wedge set you can build your wedges out, gap them out however you want. Okay, so I will collect all 21 of those, and then I can just be like, all right, what gaps do I want? Easy peasy. Okay, so those are the wedges. Here are the golf sets that I don't really use anymore. Got the Cleveland Tour Action. What were these called? These are called the Tour Action. What are they? I can't even read them. I don't remember. These will have some stories down here. Okay, these are the very first set of golf clubs I ever played golf with. And I believe those were given to me by a gentleman named Mike Simpson, one of my best and oldest friends. I'm pretty sure that's where these came about. The reason I would have stopped using these, look how small those faces are. Isn't that cool? That's a great golf club to learn how to play golf on. Because, boy, once you move from that over into a bigger set, a set with bigger heads like that, man, it seems easy. The reason I would have stopped using these is because these weights started coming out. These are called the Golden Eagle First Flights. I loved them. I hated to give those up. All right, these right here were given to me by my friend Kevin McMahon. That's correct, Kevin McMahon, yes. Given to me by Mike Simpson and Kevin McMahon. Those two people know each other. Those two people work together, and those two people both shared an interest in golf. Isn't that cool? Because I always say none of my friends play golf. But when I go way, way back, that's not exactly true. So Kevin gave me these, the Accuracy Express by Bridges. Isn't that cool? Lots of people have played these. Those are popular, kind of low-cost clubs. Lots of people will be familiar with that. Check this out, the Iron Cleat. These are like, it's like they're the original hybrid. I don't know what year those came out. I'll have to check them out. The Iron Cleat by TaylorMade. Awesome. That's awesome. That's technology right there. When that came out, the Iron Cleat, I mean, that would have been high-tech stuff. All right, so those are your wedges. Those are your wedges, people. Now let's move on into the iron sets. Okay, here's what you would consider a full set of irons. How about that? You really don't see that much anymore, because now each club is basically treated sort of like its own club, and we're going to be going that way even more. Meaning that every club in the bag is its own little specialty item. That's how I do it. But this right here is if you just had some money and you said, I want an entire set of golf clubs. There's no putter, but everything else. This has the wedge, the wedges, the irons. Okay, they're Jack Nicklaus. They put his name on a lot of stuff, but these are nice. Those are also probably lower cost golf clubs. But check these out. They come with a set of woods. That is so cool. It is not funny. And they've got awesome shafts. Everybody used to play these things. The Pro Force 65s, or the Pro Force Golds. Some were 65s. Are these all 65s? Let's see. It looks like it. That designates the weight. So that's a full set of golf clubs, but I don't use that. Okay. So basically the deal is, if I go play golf today, I'm going to make a choice between these two sets of clubs. A game improvement club, which we already talked about, which is the 2006 Callaway Fusion that has a bore-through shaft. I custom built these clubs using the Nippon 1150 GH shafts. Okay, so basically my deal is my two favorite shafts, and basically the only shafts that I will play, or that I want to play, are going to be Nippon. Okay, Nippon, they're Japanese, and then KBS. Okay, KBS is a gentleman named Tim Braley. Let me tell you something. This guy right here is rocking it. That guy is rocking it. As far as small business people, that guy is rocking it in the world of golf and in the world of business, because he's got his name on that thing, right? Kim Braley. The guy that won the PGA Championship yesterday, it's likely that he had KBS in his bag. It is likely. It's gotten that likely. They're that good. So my favorite, like the clubs that I will probably choose to play today, are going to be these that have the KBS. These are 2006 McGregor MacTech M685s. These are awesome. These were one of the most underrated damn sets of golf clubs ever. So they're players' clubs, but they're perimeter weighted to some degree, and they've got some technology in the longer irons. But they've got KBS Tours, which I believe are 90s. Hey, wait. Oh, check this out. Check out what I did, because I'm always screwing around. Okay, what I did is I took the 8-iron and I installed a Nippon 1150 GH so that I could compare that with the 7-iron over here, which has the KBS Tour, and I believe that's a 90. So basically I got a heavier weighted shaft. That way I can go to the golf course and test which shaft I like the best, and I feel like I have to do a little bit more work with the Nippon, but that's because it's a heavy, stiff shaft. So, all right. So the ones that I'll probably choose to play golf with are going to be the MacTech M685s, and that's because I hit the ball so good with those. I love the shafts, and just everything about those particular clubs, I love them. All right, how about that? It's a swing trainer. It's one of those old momentous things that weighs a ton. You swing it. You're not supposed to hit balls with it, but I do. I don't use that as a swing trainer. I just use it as a toy. All right, so basically that covers the irons that I might use. Now let's step over here to the 3-woods and hybrids. And I've got all those lined up here in this bag. So these are the 3-woods and hybrids that I might choose from. And I can already tell you what I'll choose when I play today. Okay. We got all kinds of goodies in here, but there should be yep, right here. I'll take this. This is an Adams Speedline Fast 10 with a Matrix Ozic HDA 70. Yeah, that right there, man, that right there is awesome. See that? That Matrix Ozic shaft is awesome right there. Hey, wait, it's not an Ozic, it's an HDA, sorry. Okay, now this right here, if you're a golfsmith, like if you used to be into Golfsmith because of their component clubs, these right here are the bomb. I went to the driving range yesterday. I hit a few bad shots off the toe and the heel, and that club right there actually does help correct a bad shot. I was surprised at how, I was like, wow, they're still in play. So it's the Quick Strike, and I thought I had a Quick Strike too. They made, okay, here we go. They made, this is a later model, the Quick Strike M. We'll look at that. Okay, but the deal here is, look at this. Okay, not only were those hybrid heads awesome, but these shafts, check these shafts out. Now, okay, this was called the UST iRod. The hybrid fairway shaft, okay? So it was the iRod shaft. Now they still make that, but it's not the same. They changed it, and I'm telling you what, the old one was the bomb diggity bomb. Those iRod shafts are awesome, and that could be part of why I liked that club yesterday. By the way, all this stuff is old. We haven't gotten to any new stuff at all yet. So see, these shafts were made particularly for these club heads, the iRod. If you can buy these and you can know for sure that they're the older ones, you definitely want to go ahead and buy them, because the new ones are not the same. So, okay, today when I go, what I'll probably do is I'll take the 24 degree Snake Eyes. I'll take that, okay, so that'll go with me. And then I'll take the 3-wood, which is the Adams, and that's it. Just those two, that's it. No need to go crazy. Okay, so these are other, check this. Now this is also very cool. Check this out. Talamonte. Do you see that? Talamonte. I spoke to that gentleman several times named Phil Talamonte that built that. That's his company. I don't know if that guy's still around. I haven't seen those shafts in a long time. So I bought shafts from a guy that made them himself, or not himself, but you know, he's the guy who did all the research and development. Mr. Talamonte. I got a couple of those in there. There's one. Let's see, there's another one. Yep, there's another Talamonte right there. I got a third one. Hey, check that. That's cool. I need to hit that at the range, buddy. I didn't realize I had that. A steel shafted 3-wood. Oh my God, because I'm loving my irons lately, but I don't really like moving down into the fiberglass shafts too much. All right, these are just some 1-irons, like some driving irons. And check this out. Check that, how vintage this one is. Hey, that is so cool. That's a Bobby Jones. I guess it's a 1. Oh, it's a 2. Made by Spalding. Wow, that's cool. All right, now here we are to the drivers. We're almost done with the tour, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so here is my selection of drivers. And one thing I'm noticing is that, I believe, it's interesting. This right here looks, it's also, that's an Adams. It looks like it kind of goes with this set over here. And these are Nicholas Air Max. So they don't go together. But as you see, this one has the Pro Force 75 gold. That means that shaft weighs 75 grams. So that's pretty old. All right. And then, okay, here is another Adams. I believe Adams and Tight Lies were the same. Okay, here's what's cool about this. Here's why I would have this. Okay, this has the multi-material shaft. See that? It's actually steel at the bottom and then graphite at the top. I don't know how they connect it. I might be interested in hitting that too, because that would give you a little extra control down there at the end. Okay, that's why I would have that. That's what would have been significant to me. All right, now we're starting to talk here. TaylorMade R5. That means that came out in 2005. And that was awesome. Lots of people will remember this for sure. The TaylorMade R580. Man, is that awesome. What shaft? Standard shaft, it looks like. All right. Oh, that's nice. The TaylorMade R7 draw. All right. I would like that. Obviously, that's why I have it. Let's see what we got in the shaft. Oh, look at that. This one's got a Mitsubishi Rayon. That's interesting with a soft tip. So that's 55 gram shaft, and it's regular. Man, and it's Mitsubishi Rayon. Okay, that is a good shaft right there. All right, now we're into the Mac Daddy. Okay. When I went to the driving range yesterday, I was testing between my two Mac Daddy drivers. What's funny is this one here, which is that is just the most awesome driver in the world right here. Okay. This to me, I'm just totally in love with it. The TaylorMade Tour Preferred Burner. And it's got the little TP logo up there. So being Tour Preferred basically means that that's going to have a little bit of a closed club face. Okay, it's got the Aldila DVS. That thing is right there. It's extra stiff, but it weighs 55 grams. Is that right? Look at that. It's 55 gram extra stiff. Man, I was walloping the crap out of that thing yesterday, and it was awesome. And here's what's interesting, people. I also have one of the most current technology drivers on the market, the 2019 Cobra Speed. It's the F9. See that? With that carbon crown. Can we see it? Got that carbon crown. But, I mean, one thing I'm so impressed with golf clubs is the fit and finish. It is literally perfect. It's almost as good or better than vehicles. Okay. So with this one, I've got it set to its highest loft, which is 12.5. I think it's a 9.5. I've only hit it like 5 times, and you can see I've got one that's on this side of the heel, but basically it looks like I'm having toe strikes. So with this one, I didn't hit it that great, but of course I just got it. It's brand new. Also, it's got technology. It's got this thing which is connected to an app, so when you hit the ball, and then you walk out to the ball, it knows how far you hit the ball, and it keeps track of every drive you hit if you do that. Okay, so basically, I'm gonna go ahead and build my bag. It looks like it's getting bad out here. Okay, so we're gonna start. I already told you what I was gonna do here. So we're gonna go with the hybrid. Okay, and the 3-wood. And based on my experience at the driving range yesterday, and since we're playing, if I was going to Candler Park, by the way, which is a 9-hole shorter golf course, I would not bring a driver, and I possibly would not bring any woods. I can play that golf course with irons only, and it's fun. All right, so we got the 2009 Turf Preferred Burner with the Aldila DVS in 55 extra stiff. We've got the Adams Speedline Fast 10 with the Matrix HDA 70 stiff, and we've got the Quick Strike 24 degree hybrid with the I-Rod and stiff. I don't know if I know the weight of that, but that's what we're going to have in the woods. Okay, now based on, you know what, that's interesting. The putter choice I'm still not totally set on, except here's what I'm going to do. Hey, you know what, I would take this one since I told you I thought it fit me best, but it needs to be re-gripped and I don't have time. So what I'm going to do is just take this one that's old that I'm used to. It's got a bigger grip, it's standard, and it's easy to deal with. So we're going to pop that in. And now the irons that I'm going to use today. Okay, what I think I will actually do is I'll take, because I've recently gripped these, I'm going to take the 4 and the 5 of the Game Improvement irons. Okay, so we'll take the 4 and the 5 of those, of the 2006 Callaway Fusions with the Nippon 1150 GH. I believe those are 105 gram shafts. Alright, then I'm going to take the McGregor MacTex all the way down from the 6. Alright, so we're going to take the MacTex and we're going 6. 7. Okay, I've got to fix this. I'm going to take this 8, but this, like I said before, has got the Nippon shaft instead of the KBS, and I want the KBS in my shorter irons. So I'm going to go ahead and take the 8, but, okay, here's the deal. I'm going to take the 8 knowing that I need to actually install this shaft in it. That is the shaft that's supposed to go in that 8, but that's fine. Here's the deal. This 8 iron is cut 2 inches longer than normal, so I can hit the most towering shots with that. It's incredible. Alright, so let's finish out the irons. We got the... Okay, so now we've got another choice. Do I want to move into the 9 iron and the wedges, or just stick with these? Well, since we're playing the MacTech, and I love to hit these, I'm going to go ahead and play the 9. So here we got 6, 7, 8. Here we got the 9. Okay, and I'm also going to do this today. I'm also going to stick with the pitching wedge. Because I could also come over here, and instead of using the pitching wedge from this set, I could come over here and get one from this set. But since I'm already blending up top a couple of game improvers, and I love to hit these clubs, I'm going to go ahead and do the 9 iron and the pitching wedge. Okay. So I got the 9 iron and the pitching wedge. So now, I'm going to want to take a gap wedge. So let's see, the 9, the pitching wedge, the loft of that pitching wedge, I believe, is a 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51. So we're going to take a 51 degree gap wedge. Take a 51 degree gap wedge, and I'm going to gap that up with the 55 degree sand wedge, okay, right there. And I'll go ahead and take the lob wedge. Oh, here's the question. Okay. Well, my question is, do I want to take this? I know you people must think I'm totally insane. So now the question is, in the sand wedge, so these wedges are all similar, but not exactly the same. But do you want to make all your wedges the same, or do you want to have one of them that's a specialty wedge in case you actually get in the sand? And obviously that would be your sand wedge. Since I'm not as used to hitting this out of the sand, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go with the gap wedge of the Score 4161. Okay, so we're going to plop that in there. Now what I'm going to do is I am actually going to play that Cleveland regular 588 sand wedge. Where is it? right there. See that? So what I mean is this one has a sole that I'm used to. That thing right there will do good out of the sand, so I'm going to take that. And then I'm going to finish it off with the lob wedge from this set here, right here. There's your lob wedge. So how many clubs do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. How about that? Can you believe that? Didn't even count them. All right, so I got my 14 clubs. I will then go through and I will install a head cover on every single one of my clubs. I hate to play golf without head covers. So we're going to get out of the storm, and then we're going to be done. Like so far, it's a 32-minute what's in the bag, people. That's crazy. See you later.